get the musicians out of the way. Let's do the show here. It is a, happy Friday. It is Friday. It's here. As we speak right now, I'm on an airplane coming back from Denver, Colorado. I stayed at the Gaylord Rockies and the Podcast Movement Convention, and I was a hit. People loved me. It was awesome. The opportunity that came from it. Wait a second. I actually haven't even gone yet. I'm recording before I left, but I'm dreaming what it was is going. Yeah. Anyway, forget it. So today, 10 truths that will change everything. These are the motivational truths. A long time ago when I started Face Your Passion, which is being reworked. I delayed Face Your Passion. We're going to do Wisdom and Wealthy here in September. We're going to start that up again. Face Your Passion is being completely redone as a really awesome coaching program. Last time it was just a course. This time it's a coaching program. And it's doing that because I launched this about, in 2011 I did that. And I launched the course and it's been a real success. And I was going to just let it go and do something else. I thought, there's too many people that really need that. But we're going to do it probably in January. But when I launched it with what I call the 10 motivational truths. And that's what I pulled out today for you. 10 things that are just, they're kind of stoic. They're kind of built into you. And if you will accept these truths today, your life will change in 9.5 minutes. No, not everybody can make that kind of promise, but not everybody is a nearly famous motivational DJ like me, filled with Scott Logic. My name is Scott Smith. Good to have you. Chief Motivating Officer here at motivationtomove.com. You know that. I'm feeling good. We've been talking on Facebook, dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook a lot. You guys are awesome. You're so motivating. You really are. And I appreciate all the kind words over there. If you're looking for a nice, positive place and you want to see Rick's Friday coffee post, he's excellent at it. He loves coffee and he motivates you with coffee. It does it on Friday. It's cool stuff. You go check it out. So on Fridays, you know me and my questions, right? Every question I ask you, at one time I had to ask myself, and I still do this day, but at one time it was the first for me. I walked my talk, and at one time I said, okay, how do I want to feel about something? Because I recognized that I maybe wasn't feeling the way I wanted to feel, or somebody was making me feel some way I didn't want to feel. And I said, okay, how do I do that? Well, the way you do that is you sit down today when the show's done, and you can do it now while you're thinking about it. And you're ignoring me between the lines. Hello. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel? What'll happen is you naturally want to feel good. You want the best for yourself. The universe wants the best for you. God wants the best for you. And life gets in the way, and sometimes you don't believe it. Until you pause long enough to simply say, how do I want to feel? The answer sometimes doesn't come to you. And then when the answer does come to you, except you grumpy people that just say, I want to feel grumpy, and it happens. Magically, just because it's become part of you, just because you ask the question and listen for the answer, you've changed your world. Remember, you get what you focus on. When you ask the question, how do I want to feel? You're going to hear good things inside your mind. Your inner voice is going to speak with you, and now it's going to be part of your focus. And magically, with you doing nothing else, no goal setting, nothing, you don't have to do it. It's just going to happen for you. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel? We're going to talk about those 10 truths today. I will tell you that I believe this was almost in the order that I did the program when I first did it. I believe, I don't recall exactly, but these 10 truths are just motivational truths of life. They are, in some cases, I studied a lot to figure them out. In other cases, I made them up because I do what I call observational motivation, where I look at the world, I look what's working, what's not working. I don't care what anybody else is saying. At some point, I will come to a conclusion about what is truthful. Could be my truth, and my truth after a bottle of wine on a Friday night with my wife at a fancy resort on the coast is very different than a Monday morning recording the podcast. But still, it's mine, and it works. So the 10 truths that will change everything. If you are a premium member, we'll continue. Otherwise, there is a commercial here. 10 truths. Certain actions, thoughts, and feelings have over time revealed themselves to be absolutely true. You know that. We all know that. Listen, this is not the first time at the human rodeo, okay? It's just not. You are not the first person to figure this stuff out. You Zoomies, and I pick on Zoomies. I don't own, but I have a controlling interest in some Zoomies. So can I say that? I know you think you figure everything out first. You got a better way. But you know what? The millennials said the same thing. And prior to that, the boomers said the same thing. And we don't know about those Gen X people. They're lost in between somewhere. We know that. So here's my top 10. In descending order. Number 10, purpose and passion come from clarity of thought. Technically, that should be number 1, clarity, but you'll see why it's not. If you know your purpose and you're living with a sense of passion and you have clarity of your thought, you'll get what you want. Does that mean you have to know exactly what you want at the end? It would help if you did. I was watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary on Netflix, and he talks about the massive clarity he had. I can't argue that point. The guy's been massively successful for a massively big guy. Purpose and passion come from clarity of thought. As soon as you get clear on what you want, you will find your purpose and your passion. It doesn't come the other way around. Purpose and passion begin with acceptance. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that sometimes something jumps in front of you that you go, you know what? That kind of talks to me. I need to accept that and go with it. And sometimes it may be that you have to accept that, no, things have to change. If I want to find my purpose and my passion in my life, I have to decide that I have to go find it. You have to accept that everything you've done till this moment has prepared you for it, but it doesn't mean you know what the hell you're doing until you say, yeah, you don't have to cut things off, but you at least need to say, time for me to figure it out. Acceptance. Faith and courage power transformation. Faith and courage power transformation. You got to have great faith. If you're going to move forward, you got to have some courage to do it. It's kind of scary. Without faith, sometimes you just have fear. The secret is within you. The answer is within you. It always has been. You may have to get outside influence, some advice. You may have to have some experience. You may have to watch a movie sometimes and go, oh, look at that. I can do that. But still, it's within you. It's not within somebody else. So if you get an outside idea, it's going to go through you anyway, right? So it just makes sense. It's coming from within you. So since we know, by the way, everything comes from within you, you may as well use that power. Number 6, we're on the countdown. Some doors must close before others open. I grew up in a time, and I don't know if it's still happening these days. I grew up in a time. Listen, I know I'm not old if I'm still making the old man voice. That's the way it is. Don't close that door, Scott. Don't keep that door open. Don't burn that bridge, Scott. I got news for you. The people said, don't close that door. And the people said, don't burn that bridge. It was serving them. I have a lot of situations in life, and I'm not saying go burn bridges or close doors. I'm not saying do that. But I am saying in some cases, some of y'all need to slam the damn door shut. If you're being held back, if you got a bad job, a bad boss, a toxic relationship, that's a door slamming moment. What's going to happen? I got news for you. You slam the right door, and a lot of doors open up. Sometimes you got to do it. My guess is right now, and based on the conversation I had this week on my Boost coaching call, where almost every conversation was the same, the door has to be closed before you can open the other one. People are waiting around trying to open a new door and keep all the other doors open too. Doesn't work. Strong values create strong passions. I think I'm a value-driven guy. I don't have some friends because our values aren't the same. Doesn't mean I don't say hi to them and wave to them in the street or something. I do that, but will I hang out and be your best buddy? Because we don't share the same values. I hang out with people I share the same values with. So do you. But within that, you get the passions of life. They come alive. Number 4, goals are the heartbeat of your life. And what I mean by that is goals are really kind of hard-wired into you. It's brain stuff. Don't worry about it. But when you have a goal, you become a heat-seeking, a goal-seeking, a mission-seeking missile. If you're not using goals, your heart's probably not going thumpity-thump as fast as it could. Emotions plus logic equal change. You are emotional. Some of you are yelling at me all this week because Scott has had an exceptionally good time doing these podcasts this week. Thank you very much. Logically, I'm going to move on and find another podcast that doesn't drive me crazy, but darn it, I keep coming back because every time I listen to Scott do his crazy motivational DJ dude stuff, my life changes. Emotions plus logic equal change. It's also how I got my last 2 motorhomes and my last 5 motorcycles. Emotion. Oh, man, that's the bike I want. Logically, should I buy it? Am I going to ride it enough? Am I going to use it enough? Who cares? Let's change our life. And I sold the motorhomes. I may be happier. Why? Because emotionally, it's a pain. Number 2, momentum is a result of planning. Momentum is the result of planning. If you want momentum at the gym, you need to kind of make room for it. Not this week, not next week, but every week from now until the future, until you get what you want. You will maintain your momentum as long as you plan to have your momentum. Why? Because other things will get in the way. It's going to happen. That's the slogan of the show. Life gets in the way. Pretty much the minute you decide, life begins when you move. And the last one that I probably should clarify a little bit. Number one on the countdown of stuff that's good for you. Everything happens when something happens. And amazingly, a lot of folks are doing a lot of listening, a lot of thinking, a lot of stuffing, a lot of wishing, hoping, fixing to get ready. Maybe someday it's going to happen, and they're not actually doing it. So whatever you want to do, something has to happen before you're going to begin to get that momentum you want. Simple as it is, you got to move in the direction you're thinking that you want to go. And if not, you're not ever going to get what you need to get there. It's just the way it is. Side note to that, since activity creates activity and a buzz and you get busy, be very careful what you choose, because once you head down that direction, you are going to get what you want as long as you pay attention to it. But you're also going to have to deny a lot of other things too, because the activity is coming your way. That's a whole nother podcast. We'll do that someday. We've probably done it 25 times now. After nearly 5,000 episodes of just this show, I have done everything a bunch. People say, how do you coach, Scott? That I talk to people all the time, and I've worked out all my thoughts on the podcast. We have some good fun. We get on the phone, we party a little bit, and on the party, a bunch of partiers on the phone on a Zoom call. Woo-hoo. All right, listen, I want you to have a good weekend. Do me a favor. Join us over on Facebook, dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook. If you'd like to be a premium member and join me on my next Boost coaching call, that's kind of the entry level into what I do, the coaching and everything. Just go to dailyboostpremium.com. It's $10 a month. It's simple, it's easy, it's cheap, it's incredibly valuable. And you have a good weekend.